Bullhorn marketing is based on the premise that you are one of a kind here at this point in the world's history for a particular reason and a particular group of people. The reason you're here is what your purpose is, and your group of people is what we refer to as your community. Now, as you are here in this world at this particular time in the world's history, you are a part of an industry. You have a business, and you want to market that business, of course. But it's also important that you achieve your purpose. And in order to do that, you need to put out messaging that references your purpose for your people. Otherwise, not only will your marketing be very generic, it will sound just like everybody else's, but it also won't do what it needs to do in terms of attracting you to your people. And it's with our people that we're actually able to achieve our purpose. Now, I understand that you may not know what your purpose is, and that's okay. These videos are intended to be somewhat of a blueprint process hack, where the entire process allows you to identify your purpose and live it. These videos are meant to be a little bit of a shortcut because it's important to me that you know how to get your messages out there and that this is easy and readily available to you. So let us go to the graphic that you probably have in front of you. It's a peanut butter and jelly graphic. So the reason why I chose a peanut butter and jelly sandwich by way of analogy to ideal messaging to attract your people by sharing your purpose and your light is because a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is perfectly balanced and it's on a conveyor, the conveyor being the bread. And the peanut butter and jelly going so super well together. You wouldn't most likely have just a jam sandwich, and you wouldn't just have a peanut butter sandwich. Much like we wouldn't put out marketing content that has just peanut butter, which is all the stuff that's related to your industry, your service, your product, nor would we have a message that is just jam, which is what your purpose is and what your messages are from your Bullhorn messaging video exercise. We want to put them together. It's in the combination that the powerful light comes out of your house and your people are attracted to you. So this template is meant to give you a little bit of a playground from which to do your messaging. I don't believe in giving you something that is in an order, like a chronological order, because that restricts your mind and your spontaneity and your inspiration. And honestly, it restricts God because you could be in the middle of delivering a message and God might try to get in sideways to tell you something that you need to say. And if you're too dedicated to a chronological list of things you want to say, you might not be open to receiving Him. So the triangle is meant to just corral your mind around a particular focus, which is in the middle, and that is what I refer to as the gift of the message itself. So now let's go around this triangle, but again, please remember that it's not intended to do first one, then the other. You wouldn't just talk about peanut butter, then jam, and then the bread, and then the gift. That's not what it's intended to do. Again, it's just a playground with 4 ingredients that your mind can get in there and create with God its own special soup that we would refer to then as Bullhorn marketing. I will start with peanut butter, but you wouldn't necessarily need to start there. I'm starting there because peanut butter probably makes the most sense to you. It's what you're used to with marketing. Peanut butter is, again, anything to do with your team, your product, your service, your industry, whatever you need to teach them about your product, whatever you're trying to market, your business. Jam comes directly from the Bullhorn marketing activity, where I had you go through the steps of identifying what would your messages be if you had that magic bullhorn up at the top of the mountain. And then I had you categorize them according to themes and identify certain messages, 1 to 2 messages per theme. those messages now become the jam. So they go in the right-hand corner of the triangle. The left-hand corner of the triangle is meant to be either an example of this, an analogy that depicts this, or a story that is either from your life or someone else's life. For example, in this message that I'm delivering to you, I used the peanut butter and jelly sandwich by way of an analogy. So that would go in my lower left-hand corner for this particular video. The most important part of the triangle, the most important ingredient of the triangle, again, there are 4: peanut butter, jam, bread, and the gift. The gift is the most essential. The gift is, you're not going to give them something. Now, I do understand that that's typically done in marketing content where, hey, if you sign up today, you're going to get this free white paper or PDF download or whatever. Now, what we are talking about is what is the emotional uplift that you're leaving them with just because they listened to the message. So this is prior to them becoming a client. What gift will they get? And again, it's usually an emotional uplift. It could be a paradigm shift. It could also be some education, enlightenment. But you want to identify what the gift is that you're wanting them to get, because that then becomes the objective that your brain can focus on. So instead of typically our brain focusing on, what can I say differently in this message to influence them to become a client, that's a get. That's not a give. And our brains cannot be focused simultaneously on giving and getting. So we want to pick the gift. We want to focus on the gift. Now, whether or not you talk about this in your content is completely up to you and God in the inspiration of the moment. However, identifying it ahead of time is super important once again, so you can make sure that your brain is focused on giving and not the typical marketing default of getting. Now, how you bounce around that triangle is up to you and God in the moment. You could start with peanut butter, bounce to bread, go back to peanut butter, take some time with jam, reference the gift in the middle. Who knows, right? Who knows? But we just identify the triangle ahead of time, set it to the side, and then deliver your content. And this peanut butter and jelly template can work whether you're doing a video, a podcast, a speech, a webinar, writing a book. It literally can work in any situation and should, so that your people get a sense of how you are unique in this world and are drawn to you.